Check this.
Hey everyone, Trav here with Chaotic Strategies. Last week I went over our top 5 lists for the best board games of 2020. This week I'm going to go over the top 5 best board game manufacturers for 2020. If you guys are new to the channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, that little notification bell, so that way you guys are always notified when I post new videos. Board games are blowing up. They have been for the last few years, and it's only getting better. And these manufacturers that we're about to list off in our top 5 are pumping out some of the best board games to date. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into our top 5 list of the best board game manufacturers for 2020. If you would like to support our channel, you can click down below on our Amazon.com affiliate link at no extra cost to you. Coming in at our number 5 spot for one of the top board game manufacturers in the world, we have Goliath BV. Goliath is by far one of the largest toy companies and board game manufacturing companies in the world. It's marketed and produced a lot of pretty famous games such as Doggy Doo, Word Search, Pop the Pig, Domino Rally, and so forth. The company has grown tremendously since they were first established in 1980, and it's actually expanded to several countries. Okay, here in the United States, they go by Goliath LLC and Pressman. They're in other countries like Netherlands, Germany, France, Spain, Portugal. They're also in Australia. In Australia, they're known as Crown and Andrews, and also in Hong Kong and various other countries as well. And Goliath exports a lot of its productions to about more than 70 countries all across the world. That's what puts Goliath BV at our number 5 spot for one of the best board game manufacturers in the world. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have Ravensburger. I've mentioned Ravensburger before in my Cathedral video, which I will leave a link down in the description box below if you want to check out the board game Cathedral. Ravensburger is huge in Germany. That's where their origins are, and they have a hand in just about everything. From a variety of board games, books, TV shows, puzzles, arts and crafts kits, etc. For about 50 years, Ravensburger has been known all across Europe for its high-quality jigsaw puzzles, which are also sold throughout Germany and the continents by its subsidiaries. One of the biggest board games that Ravensburger is known for is its Labyrinth brand. It's known by more than 90% of Germany consumers, and this game was released about 30 years ago, and the game mechanism of Labyrinth has evolved into more of a family concept, and more than 13 million units of the board game have been sold since its creation 30 years ago. Coming in our number 3 spot, we have USAopoly. Now, USAopoly isn't necessarily a manufacturer more than it is a company that helps companies build their brands and promote their games. Some of the top named games have gone through USAopoly for the last 20 years to help promote and market their games, like Monopoly, Yahtzee, The Game of Life, Candyland, Clue, etc. All these companies went through USAopoly to help promote and brand their games, and giving these companies unique opportunities to tell their stories through game boards. And that's why USAopoly is in our number 3 spot. Coming in our number 2 spot is Steve Jackson Games. Steve Jackson Games is massive. It's huge. They have all sorts of different games. The leading game that really put Steve Jackson Games on the spot was their card game Munchkin, and it was a role-playing card game, and it just branched off from there. It has numerous expansion sets, and it's massive. But not only do they have card games, they also have board games, regular role-playing games, online games, mobile games. They're huge. And I know Steve Jackson Games doesn't really get a whole lot of recognition, being a more privately owned company, but they've come out with some fantastic games, and the company is continually growing and producing more and more games on a regular basis, which is why we decided to put Steve Jackson Games in the number 2 spot. And last but not least, coming in at our number 1 spot is none other than Hasbro themselves. Hasbro has been probably one of the top 10 toy companies in Europe across the world for years and years and years, and a lot of it's because of they just have such a massive line of toy products that are manufactured based on popular cultures. Hasbro has just been dominating the ecosystem of board games and puzzles, and a lot of that's because they bought Parker Brothers, who was the makers of Monopoly, Trivial Pursuit, Sorry, so on and so forth. They also bought Avalon Hill, who made games like Gettysburg and Civil War. Hasbro also picked up Wizards of the Coast, who is mostly known for Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering, the card game. And they bought out Milton and Bradley, who also made the Game of Life, Scrabble, games like that. With Hasbro just continually growing from picking up these companies and producing and manufacturing and marketing all these different games, they're using that leverage that they have now to focus on expanding its global business and pretty much building its presence in the media and entertainment industry now as well, making them probably one of the most top contenders within this market out there to this date. And that's why we decided to put Hasbro in the number 1 spot for one of the top board game manufacturers in the world. Alright everyone, and that is our top 5 of the best board game manufacturers in the world as of right now in 2020. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other amazing game manufacturers out there right now. This list was just based on kind of who's coming up with a lot more of new and just innovative board games for not just adults, not just for kids, but for whole families to play. And that's kind of what this list is based around. Who's coming up with some of the best games in the world right now, and these were the companies that really stood out as our top 5. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think. You can check out all of our social media pages up in the banner or down in the description box below. With that, I hope you guys are being safe out there, wash your hands, and we'll see you in the next video.